Hi, this is Matt with Inmate Search Info. Today we're going to take a look at how to find Kansas inmates. And to do that, we're going to visit the Kansas Department of Corrections Offender Population Search. So the Kansas DOC has this search facility, and at first glance, it's actually pretty good. Some offender searches that we've looked at are a little bit limited in terms of the information that they let you search by. So often you're really just stuck between just the name and or the DOC number for that particular state. So if you know the DOC number, you can get taken directly to the inmate. If you don't, then you're stuck potentially sifting through a lot of results based on the information that you enter for the name, especially if it's a common name like the one we're going to look at today. But they do actually give you quite a bit to filter by in the advanced search section. So before we get down to there, let's just take a quick look up here. So what they're giving you at the top here is the option for photos. And generally we would say, yes, of course, include photos in the thumbnails when you do the initial search so that you can kind of narrow it down. You might spot the person immediately that you're looking for. However, at least at this moment, the offender search for Kansas is definitely on the slow side if you try to include those thumbnails. So you can certainly try it and see, but just bear in mind that it's going to take a while. Like you might hit your search and then, want to go take a break, get some coffee or something and come back 5-10 minutes later, let it load up. It's probably not quite as bad as that, but it's not great. So for our purposes today, we're just going to say no on the thumbnails, but yes for the photos on the main page when we get to that. So within this advanced search section, a couple unique things. You're able to search by social security number if you know it, and they're not going to show it on the screen. They're not going to publish it because they don't want people obviously abusing this to be able to use it as, I guess, verification for SSN or whatever the case might be. But that is a unique feature of this Kansas search. I don't know that they will always have this option. They may, in the end, determine that it's a safety risk, but it is there if you happen to have that. That's another way you can get directly to the results that you're looking for very easily. You can further filter by race, gender, date of birth, age range. So if you know you're looking for, a John Smith that's in his 20s, you could say 20 to 29 and, narrow down your results pretty substantially. Information about their conviction, if you happen to know that, you may not, and that's kind of to be expected, but you're able to determine filter that out if you happen to have those details as well. For our purposes today, we're going to be looking at just inmates, but they do give you the option to look for people that might be, on parole or have other statuses, even those who have been discharged, those who were maybe in the system previously. So Kansas is keeping track of all of those things, including those who are out of the system. They're still available for searching. So that may be of use to you depending on your purposes. You've also got absconders, which is a little different, unusual. You can search by that or other levels of supervision. But like I said, today we're going to look specifically for inmates to narrow it down. And then we're going to go ahead and hit this submit and see. And like I said, I didn't include the thumbnails, so we loaded a fair bit faster. And, again, these are all inmates, so those are under that level of supervision. They're actually incarcerated. And it's sorted here by alphabetically by name. And we included aliases in our results as well. I don't think we talked about that, but there was an option where you can search including aliases. So if you happen to know them by this name, but it may not be their legal name, you're able to get that information. And then the other classifications would be, if that's a given name or a name that they were convicted by. So that's another way that you could potentially narrow down your results either before you go in if you don't want to do aliases, or if you happen to know specifically that it's someone's name, you can obviously get that information here. Now, in this case, we do have duplicate results for the conviction and true name, which doesn't help things if you have a laundry list of results, you're getting duplicates, but it is what it is. So you do get that Kansas DOC number, which you may need for sending funds or sending correspondence or other visitation type things. So that's something to bear in mind that you can get right off that first page. So we're going to go ahead and click this person whose actual name is John Smith. And again, one of the limitations of this particular system is that the pictures themselves are supposed to load in this area, but they take quite a while. They take quite a while if they load at all. And in fact, the last few that I've checked, the photos haven't loaded. Now, I don't know if that's because there weren't photos for them, or if the system is maybe just messed up or maybe not being maintained. Whatever the case is, it's a little bit of a challenge. You do get some additional information on the date of birth, the full date of birth, physical description, which again may be helpful if the photos are taking a while to load, which they obviously are in this case, and information on the current sentencing as far as potential release dates, and information about when they were admitted, which might also be helpful. Now, one thing they do give you, Kansas does give you, that other states don't, is they give you the location where they're incarcerated, which pretty much every place does, but they do also give you a link that's supposed to take you to I would presume, a description of the facility, maybe information about hours, things like that, which would be great if that's what you're looking for. Unfortunately, as of this moment, they do not seem to be working. So if you click on that link, you're going to get taken to a page that looks like this, which doesn't really do you much good. But theoretically, if they get that going again, then that would be something useful. But otherwise, you're basically just given a name and have to kind of work with that. So you're able to see the convictions, and Kansas does give you some specifics on the conviction. Except some states just give you, the general statute, and you have to do your own research, but they kind of lay it all out for you there. And then you're also able to see, which again is kind of a unique thing for Kansas, the sort of history for their time in prison, as far as sort of movements as well as disciplinary reports. Some people have a laundry list of things for while they're in prison. So yeah, our photos still haven't loaded. Theoretically, like I said, they'd show up in here, and would hopefully help you with identification purposes if the other info there doesn't fill it out for you. But that's basically what you're looking at for the Kansas offender search. And if you're looking for a link to this Kansas DOC offender search directly, as well as step-by-step instructions and other resources on Kansas crime and also other types of offender searches, background checks, things like that, please visit the link in the description to be taken to our Kansas page. Thanks so much for watching.